Hello and welcome. Today we are tying the Rav Amram Gaon method of Tzitzit tying. Now this one starts off with a single white cord knot. So we're going to start with that white shamash, and then from there it's going to move into 13 huyot, alternating white and blue. So to start this off, we're going to separate out our white shamash, get it off to the side, and you're going to get your hand in a bit of an L-shaped position on the core. You're going to wrap all the way around and then come through the loop that you've made to do this first knot. Now you can adjust this as you go, get it right up to the edge of your talit, and then pull it nice and tight. And you really want to tighten this up, give it some extra force here, because with this being like sort of a limited support knot, you're going to need all you can get there to keep everything in order. So from there, we're simply going to take a white shamash and we're going to wrap 3 times around. Now keep note of where the wrap started when it actually made contact with the core, and count them off from that as you're going to make sure that when you get done you don't have 3.5 or 4 wraps, because it will happen sometimes on these ones where you're just doing straight wraps. So once you get done with those 3 wraps, you're going to hold everything to the core, make sure you're supporting those wraps up there while you separate out your blue shamash. And again, you're going to simply wrap 3 times around, making note of that starting point. Now there's probably going to be pretty limited narration here because the simplicity of this tying method doesn't really require me to talk you through the whole thing. I'm going to tie the whole thing just so you can see the process and reference in at any time. But once you get started on these, the main thing you need to do is just keep everything tight up where you're wrapping, and when you're holding down the shamash to the core and switching between shamashim, just make sure you keep everything tight. So I'm just going to go through all of this, and we'll stop and count periodically to make sure that we have an idea of how many more huyot we're going to have to do to complete this. And then you'll see at the end this finishes off as in the diagram the same way that it started. Very simple wrapping method. So once we get all 13, we're going to do that single white cord knot and finish it up. Now, periodically as you're going through this and you're doing your wraps, you want to take a moment at the end of a wrap, tighten everything up, and give it a push up on that most recent hulya up. And now we're just going to take a count, see how many we have left here. Just a couple left to do. Again, keep everything tight and snug while you switch from one shamashim to another. Now we're coming to the end here, so we're just going to keep everything snug and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So now we just simply put our hand there in our rough L-shaped position, wrap around, pull through, keep this up close to your last hulya, support it right there below it, and again pull this nice and tight, really give it some good tension there, and then give a good push upward through all your hulyot, and there you have it. Thanks for watching.